Hey guys, welcome again to the Maths Club. If you are just joining us, you're welcome. We've been looking at quadratic equations in the past two videos, talked about how to solve quadratic equations and how to arrive at quadratic equations when we're given the roots. So as the usual practice, we're going to be concluding that portion with WAEC past questions on quadratic equations from 2014 to 2023. First question says that we should find the roots of the quadratic equation 3m squared minus 2m minus 65 is equal to 0. Because of the number of questions in this particular video, we're not going to be pausing like we always do. So I will encourage you that after I read out a particular question, you pause it yourself, try and solve it, and then watch the solution that will come about. So we're given this, and we're taught different ways of solving. You could use the factorization method, could use the complete square method, or could use the formula method. Let me use the formula method in this case here. The formula method says that x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So from this, we know that our a is the coefficient of the m squared, which is 3. Our b is coefficient of the m, which is minus 2. And then our c is the constant, which is minus 65. So we have this. If I substitute, that will be x is equal to minus open brackets minus 2 plus square root of minus 2 all squared minus 4 times 3 times minus 65 all over 2 times 3. So let's just try to simplify the. So this is 2. Okay, this is plus or minus square root of 2 squared is 4 minus 4 times 3 times minus 65. That will give us 7/8c. So that is plus 7/8c all over 6. So we could say our x is equal to 2 plus or minus square root of 784 all over 6. So we could just break down and say this is x is equal to 2 plus square root of 784 all over 6, or 2 minus square root of 784 all over 6. So if I do this, I mean 2 plus square root of 784 divided by 6, this gives me 5, right? Although if it was a theory question, I'll advise that you maybe see what's the square root of 784. So square root of 784 is 28. So we could just say 2 plus 28 over 6 or 2 minus 28 over 6. So this would be like 30 over 6 or minus 26 all over 6. So like saying x is equal to 5 or minus 4.33. So these are solutions from this particular question. Let's see if we're correct. Okay, so we have 5 and 4.33. So 4.33, if I wanted to reduce this, is like saying 2 here 3, 2 here 13. So it's like saying minus 13 over 3, right? That was what gave us minus 4.33. So our answer is actually 5 or minus 13 over 3. And that will be option C. Next question says that we should find the quadratic equations whose roots are 2 over 3 and minus 3 over 4. To solve this question, there were two methods I used where I said we could say x squared minus sum of the roots would multiply x plus the product of the roots is equal to 0. And we proved that in the previous video to this. So the sum of the roots, we have 2 over 3, then plus minus 3 over 4. Right, this is like saying 2 over 3 minus 3 over 4. Right, so I wanted to solve that, I'll say all over 12, because 12 is the multiple. So 12 in 3 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, minus 12 in 4 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9. So this is like saying minus 1 over 12. Same thing to the products. So that will be 2 over 3 times minus 3 over 4. 3 will cancel 3. This will be 1, 2 here 1, 2 here 2. This is like saying minus 1 all over 2. So if I substitute, this is like saying x squared minus the sum is minus 1 all over 12 multiplying x, and then the product is plus minus 1 all over 2 is equal to 0. So let's simplify. This is like saying x squared minus as minus is plus, so that will be plus 1 times x is x, so x over 12 plus times minus is minus, minus 1 over 2 is equal to 0. This is correct, but as much as possible you don't want to be putting fractions in this thing. So if I look at it, 12 can go here, 12 can go here, right? 12 divided by 2 is 6, 12 divided by 12 is 1. So I can multiply this entire thing by 12 so that I will not have any denominator. x squared times 12 give me 12x squared. X over 12 times 12 give me plus x, minus 1 over 2 times 12 give me minus 6 is equal to 0. So this is our equation. 12x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Let's see if we're correct. Okay, so we have it in terms of y, so it's y. So that should be option C. 12y squared plus y minus 6 is equal to 0. Great. This one says that the truth set of 8 plus 2x minus x squared is equal to 0 is p comma q. We should evaluate p plus q. To solve this one, I will use the factorization method. So the first time I want to write this one and make the x squared to come first. That will be minus x squared, then the one that has x will be plus 2x, then the whole number plus 8 is equal to 0. Then like we said in the previous 2 videos to this, we join the 2 and that will be minus 8x squared. We look for two things that when we multiply, they will give us minus 8x squared, and when we add, they will give us 2x. So based on experience, I know that the things I need are plus 4x and then minus 2x. Because if I multiply this, will just give me minus 8x squared, and if I add, this will give me 2x. Then I'll replace this middle value with those two guys that I now have, because it's the same thing, right? Plus 4x minus 2x seems as saying 2x. So that will be minus x squared plus 4x minus 2x plus 8 is equal to 0. What's common in these two? So I could say maybe x is common, right? So I could say x open brackets minus x divided by x, this will give me minus x, then plus 4x divided by x, this will give me plus 4. Then what is common in this? So I could say maybe plus 2, right? Minus 2x divided by 2, this will give me minus x, then plus 8 divided by plus 2, this will give me plus 4, and this is equal to 0. You see that I factored out x, I could have factored out minus x here, and I could have factored out minus 2 here. Whatever way you decide is okay by you. But what is important is that whatever is in these brackets here must be exactly the same thing as what is in these brackets. So like we said, we now factor out. So we'll just say x plus 2, and then we'll pick one of the two guys, which is minus x plus 4 is equal to 0. So we could say x plus 2 is equal to 0, or minus x plus 4 is equal to 0. So for me, I could say x is equal to minus 2, or minus x is equal to minus 4, and if I divide both sides by minus, our x will be equal to 4. So we could say therefore x is equal to minus 2 or 4. And then next we should find p plus q. So if this is p, this will be q, right? So p plus q would be minus 2 plus 4, which is 2, and that would be option C. Next one says that for what values of x is x squared plus 2 all over 10x squared minus 13x minus 3 undefined? For an equation to be undefined, right, in mathematics, that means that the denominator must be 0. What do I mean? So if I have 5 divided by 0, this is going to give you undefined. Or if you press it in your calculator, you could say 5 divided by 0, you'll be seeing math error, right? Because the denominator of something should not be 0. So that means that for this equation to be undefined, that means that the denominator here must be 0. So that will be 10x squared minus 13x minus 3 must be equal to 0. So the values that we get from this x should be the values that if I put it here and I replace the x with those values, it will make this denominator to be 0. So I'll be using factorization method a lot here because I find it easiest to use. So if I join this two, that will give me minus 30x squared. So I'm looking for two things that I multiply to give me minus 30x squared, and then I add to give me minus 13x. Based on experience, I will know that those two values are minus 15x and then plus 2x. If you are finding out this to be add, right, please watch the video where we discuss the steps. I spent time trying to break it down. So I'll replace this guy with these two guys. That will be 10x squared minus 15x plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. What's common in these two? 5 is common and x is common, so I'll factor it out. 5x. 10x squared divided by 5x will give me 2x, minus 15x divided by 5x will give me minus 3. What is common in these two? Really, there's nothing common. I could just say plus 1. So it will just be 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So I will just group and say 5x plus 1. Then I'll pick one of these two since they're the same thing. 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So I know that 5x plus 1 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So 5x will be equal to minus 1, or 2x will be equal to 3. So x will be equal to minus 1 over 5, or x will be equal to 3 over 2. So we know that our x is equal to minus 1 over 5 or 3 over 2 for this equation to be undefined. So that is option C. Next question says that if the equation x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0 and x squared plus 6px plus 6 is equal to 0, if they have common roots, we should find the value of p. If you look at it by comparison, this is x squared, this is x squared, this is plus 6, this is plus 6, this is 0, this is 0, and they said they have common roots. That means they have the same roots if I solve this and I solve this. So just by comparison, you know that p should be equal to minus 5. This is just something that you just look at and you say, oh, they have common roots, is the same value here, x squared plus 6 is equal to 0 is equal to 0. Then p should just be minus 5, which is the coefficient of x. That will be option D. Next question is that we should solve 6x squared is equal to 5x minus 1. So if I rearrange this, just give me 6x squared minus 5x plus 1 is equal to 0. If I cross multiply, just give me 6x squared. And look for this, that if I multiply, give me 6x squared, and if I add, it's give me minus 5x. So this should be minus 3x and then minus 2x. This should be our two values. So this will be 6x squared minus 3x minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. What's common in both of them will be 3x. If I divide this 2, this will give me 2x minus 1. What is common in both of them? I could just say minus 1 because I want the same thing inside there. If I say plus 1, I will not have the same thing. You can try that out. Minus 2x divided by minus 1 give me 2x. Plus 1 divided by minus 1 give me minus 1 is equal to 0. So what I have here is 3x minus 1 is equal to 0 or 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is like saying 3x is equal to 1 or 2x is equal to 1. If I divide both sides by 3 and if I divide both sides by 2, my x will be equal to 1 over 3 or 1 over 2. So these are solutions for question 6. So that will be option C. Question 7 says that we should simplify 2 minus 18m squared all over 1 plus 3m. When you see questions like this, it is most likely a difference of 2 square question. Let's see. From the top, what can we factor out? We can factor out 2. So that will be 2 open brackets. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 18m squared divided by 2 is 9m squared all over 1 plus 3m. So this top is like saying 2 open brackets 1 squared minus 3 squared m squared all over 1 plus 3m. You can see square. This is difference of 2 squares, and you can see minus is difference. So you could just see 2 open brackets 1 minus 3m 1 plus 3m all over 1 plus 3m. So 1 plus 3m cancel 1 plus 3m, you'll be left with 2 open brackets 1 minus 3m, and this is the solution for this particular question. That will be option C. Next one says that we should find the quadratic equations whose roots are minus 2q and 5q. So to solve it this time, what is the other method? We are told that our roots are x is equal to minus 2q. I know when you see or, and most likely is always or, so x is equal to 5q. Remember, we used to backtrack, just backtrack. So I'll take some to this. That will be x plus 2q is equal to 0 or x minus 5q is equal to, and if you backtrack, you realize that this one comes from what we said, x plus 2q, x minus 5q is equal to 0. So let's expand the brackets. X times this will give me x squared. X times minus 5q will give me minus 5qx plus 2q times q give me plus 2q times s will give me plus 2qx, and plus 2q times minus 5q give me minus 10q squared is equal to 0. So let's simplify. This will be like x squared minus 3qx minus 10q squared is equal to 0. This should be our equation. So that will be option D. Number 9 says that we should find the quadratic equations whose roots are 1 over 2 and minus 1 over 3. So you can decide to use any method of your choice. I will use that my x squared minus sum of the roots times x plus product of the roots is equal to 0. So for the sum of the roots, that will be like 1 over 2 plus minus 1 over 3, right? 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. LCM 6 and 2 is 3. 6 and 3 is 2. So it's like saying 1 over 6. That's for the sum. Then for the product, that is 1 over 2 multiplying minus 1 over 3, which is like minus 1 over 6. So we'll now replace. We have x squared minus 1 over 6 plus minus 1 over 6 is equal to 0. So it's like saying x squared minus 1 over 6 minus, oh, okay, so there's meant to be an x here, sorry. x. 1 times x is x, then minus 1 over 6 is equal to 0. Like I said, I don't always like to put my answers like this, so I'll multiply the whole thing by 6 is like the common multiple here, so I'll just say 6. 6x times 6 will give me 6x squared. This will give me minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is our equation. That is option D. Question 10 says that if x plus 2 is a factor of x squared plus px minus 10, find the value of p. When they say something is a factor of something, that means that if I make this x plus 2 to be equal to 0 and I plug that value into this place here, this value also becomes 0, right? So let's solve that together. X plus 2 is a factor, so that will be equal to 0. Our x value is minus 2. Let's plug into this equation. We have minus 2 all squared plus minus 2 times p minus 10, and when I plug it in, this will give me 0 because it's a factor. So it's like saying 4 plus minus 2p minus 10 is equal to 0. 4 minus 10 will give me minus 6, so that will be minus 2p minus 6 is equal to 0, and that will give me minus 2p is equal to 6. If I divide both sides by minus 2, our p will be equal to minus 3. Let's see if we're correct. That will be B. Let's also see that using the completing the square method, solve the equation 4x squared minus 4 root 3x plus 3 is equal to 0. Once again, I'm expecting that you are pausing the video at each point and trying that to solve. So we're told 4x squared minus 4 root 3x plus 3 is equal to 0. First is that the coefficient of x squared is not 1, so we have to divide through by 4. If I do that, will give me x squared minus root 3x plus 3 over 4 is equal to 0. After doing that, I'll take the whole number part to the other side. That will be x squared minus root 3x is equal to minus 3 over 4. After this, I'll add the square of the half of the coefficient of x to both sides. So that will be x squared minus root 3x plus minus root 3 over 2 all squared is equal to minus 3 over 4 plus minus root 3 all over 2 all squared. Then after that, I'll just group the ones that have squares. So that will be x minus root 3 over 2 all squared is equal to minus 3 over 4 plus minus root 3 times minus root 3, that will give me 3 all over 2 times 2 will give me 4. Minus 3 over 4 plus 3 over 4 will give me 0. So I'm left with x minus root 3 over 2 all squared is equal to 0. So if I take the square roots of both sides, this will be x minus root 3 over 2 is equal to, I'll just say plus or minus, let me just fulfill a righteous square root of 0. So that means that I'm going to be having plus 0 or minus 0, although plus 0 or minus 0 is going to give me 0. So I could just say x is equal to root 3 over 2 plus 0 or root 3 over 2 minus 0. So our x is root 3 over 2 twice, right? Because from this one you have root 3 over 2, from this one you have root 3 over 2. If any of the steps are actually strange, please watch the previous 2 videos to this. We discussed completing the square method in depth. Great. Next question is that I will solve 4x squared minus 16x plus 15 is equal to 0. So for this, I'm going to use factorization method again. So that's 4x squared minus 16x plus 15 is equal to 0. If I join these two, this will give me 60x squared. Two numbers that multiply to 60x squared and add to minus 16x. That will be minus 10x and minus 6x. So I'll now replace and say 4x squared minus 10x minus 6x plus 15 is equal to 0. What is common in these two? 2 is common, x is common. 4x squared divided by 2x will give me 2x. Minus 10x divided by 2x will give me minus 5. What is common in these two? Minus 3 is common. I would say minus 3 because this guy has to turn to minus for you to tally with this guy. So minus 6x divided by minus 3, that will give me 2x. Plus 15 divided by minus 3 will give me minus 5 is equal to 0. Since these two are the same, I'm good. So let's group. That will be 2x minus 3, 2x minus 5 is equal to 0. So that's like saying 2x minus 3 is equal to 0 or 2x minus 5 is equal to 0. So 2x will be equal to 3 or 2x will be equal to 5. So if I divide this one by 2, both sides by 2, and I divide both sides by 2 for this case, so our x will be equal to 3 over 2 or 5 over 2. That'll be option B. This was that we should simplify x squared minus 5x minus 14 and x squared minus 9x plus 14. So I'll take the first one, x squared minus 5x minus 14. Let's break it down. 2 guys minus 14x squared. 2 guys that would multiply and then that will add. That would be minus 7x and then plus 2x. I'll replace x squared minus 7x plus 2x minus 14. Let's group. What is common here? X. So x minus 7. What is common here? Plus 2 x minus 7. So let's now group them. So that will be x plus 2 and x minus 7. I'm done with this upper part. Let's go to the lower part, which is x squared minus 9x plus 14. Or join, that will be 14x squared. 2 values. That will be minus 7x and minus 2x. Then I'll replace. That will be x squared minus 7x minus 2x plus 14. Then I'll factor out. For the first guy, x is common. That will be x minus 7. And then for the last 2 guys, minus 2 is common. That will be x minus 7. So let's group now. That will be x minus 2, x minus 7. So let's replace. So for the top, we had x plus 2 and x minus 7. And then for the bottom, we had x minus 2, x minus 7. So this can cancel this. So we'll be left with x plus 2 and x minus 2. That will be option D. Next one says that given that 2 and minus 3 are the roots of the equation ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, find the values of a, b, and c. So I'm going to use one of the methods. So x is equal to 2 or x is equal to minus 3. So that's like saying x minus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then we'll group them. So that will be x minus 2, x plus 3 is equal to 0. Let's multiply. X times x is x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. And x squared plus 3x minus 2x will give me plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So therefore our a, which is the coefficient of x squared, is 1. Our b, which is the coefficient of x, is 1. Our c, which is the constant, is minus 6. Great. Let's just say that we should simplify 2 minus 18m squared all over 1 plus 3m. Like I said, when you see something like this, it's a difference of 2 square question. Let's factor out from the top. What is common in the top? 2 is common. That will be 2 open bracket. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 18 divided by 2 is 9. All over 1 plus 3m. That's something very similar to this before. So like 2 open brackets, 1 minus, I could just say 3m all squared. Right? This one is going to say 1 squared 2. Right? All over 1 plus 3m, and you can see the difference of 2 squares. So that will be 2 open brackets, 1 minus 3m, 1 plus 3m, divide it by 1 plus 3m. This will cancel this, so I'll be left with 2 open brackets, 1 minus 3m. So either it comes like this or it comes as 2 minus 6m. One of the two will be the answers. Okay, so that is option C. Question C says that we should solve the equation 2x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So we have 2x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Name is formula method. We have x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Our a is what? 2. Our b is what? Minus 1. Then our c is what? Minus 6. So if I substitute, our x will be equal to minus open brackets minus 1 plus or minus square root of minus 1 all squared minus 4 times 2 times minus 6 square root to take all over all of them, then all over 2 times 2. So our x will be equal to, for instance, minus is plus, so that will be plus 1 plus or minus square root of minus 1 squared is 1 plus minus 4 times 2 times minus 6, that will give you plus 48 all over 4. So our x will be equal to 1 plus or minus square root of 49 all over 4, which seems now saying 1 plus or minus 7 all over 4. Our x will now be equal to 1 plus 7 all over 4 or 1 minus 7 all over 4. So our x could be equal to 8 over 4 or minus 6 over 4. So this is like saying it's either going to be 2 or minus 3 over 2, or it's like saying minus 1.5. So these are value for x. That is option A. Next one says that we should factorize completely the expression 8 plus 2 squared minus 2x plus 1 squared. Of course, this is a difference of 2 squared question. And if you see the options, we see that it's in that line. Let's solve it together. Because it's a difference of 2 squared, this is square, this is square. I'll just say x plus 2 plus open brackets 2x plus 1 close the brackets multiplying x plus 2 minus open brackets 2x plus 1 close the bracket and close this big bracket. So let's open up this bracket. There is x plus 2 plus 2x plus 1, and then x plus 2 minus times plus, that will give you minus 2x, minus times plus will give me minus 1. Right, so x plus 2x is 3x, 2 plus 1 is plus 3, multiplying x minus 2x will give me minus x, plus 2 minus 1 will give me plus 1. Right, so from this one I could factor out 3, right? So that will be 3 open brackets x plus 1, and from this I could rearrange and make the plus come first. That will be 1 minus x. So this is our answer for this particular question. That is option D. Next question says that the graph of y is equal to 2px squared minus p squared x minus 14 passes through the points 3, 10. Find the value of p. I encourage you to try this question by yourself. When we are seeing questions like this, we're giving the value of this first value is the value of x, and the second one is the value of y. So you just substitute it and then you find the value of p. So to solve this, we're told that the x value is 3 and the y value is 10. So let's substitute. That will be 10 is equal to 2 times p times 3 squared minus p squared times 3 minus 14. So that will be 10 is equal to 3 squared is 9 times 2. That will be 18p minus 3p squared minus 14. So let's just rearrange everything. That will be minus 3p squared plus 18p minus 14 minus 10 is equal to 0. So let's simplify. That will be minus 3p squared plus 18p minus 24 is equal to 0. Now I can divide all through by 3 just to make this a little bit easier to work with. This 3 can go here, 3 can go here, 3 can go here. That will be minus p squared plus 6p minus 8 is equal to 0. So if I join these two, this will be 8p squared. So what that is that I need that when I multiply, it will give me 8p squared, and when I add it, will give me 6p. That will be 4p and 2p. So I'll just replace that and say minus p squared plus 4p plus 2p minus 8 is equal to 0. So let's factor out what's common in these two. Let me just factor out minus p. This will be this divided by this will give me p, this divided by this will give me minus 4. What's common in these two is plus 2. This divided by this will give me p, this divided by this will give me minus 4. I have the same thing in the bracket, so I'm good. Then I'll just group that will be minus p plus 2 and p minus 4 is equal to 0. So I could say therefore minus p plus 2 is equal to 0, or p minus 4 is equal to 0. So that will be minus p is equal to minus 2, or p is equal to 4. And if I divide both sides, therefore my p is equal to 2 or 4. So this is the answer for this particular thing. Next one says that we should simplify the expression a squared b raised to the power of 4 minus b squared a raised to the power of 4 all over ab open brackets a plus b. Like I always say, when you see questions like this, first thing that should come to your mind is difference of two squares. Assume that you've solved it, so let's solve it together. What is common in this one? A squared is common at the top, and then b squared is also common. So if I divide this by this, I'll be left with b squared, minus if I divide this by this, I'll be left with a squared. ab open brackets a plus b. So let me just simplify. This one can go, this will go, so I'll be left with ab open brackets b squared minus a squared all over a plus b. Right, this difference of squares, I could say ab, b minus a, b plus a all over a plus b, and b plus a and a plus b is the same, so this can cancel this. So I'll be left with ab open brackets b minus a. In case they don't put it like this, they could have put it as saying ab squared minus a squared b. That is if they opened up the brackets. So that would be option D. Option 20 says that one factor of 7x squared plus 33x minus 10 is, so they will give you some options, but let's just solve this together. We're told that 7x squared plus 33x minus 10, if I join this, so that will be minus 70x squared. So I'm looking for two values that when I multiply, it will give me minus 70x squared, and when I add, it will give me 33x. So if you already know the values that I'm thinking of, so that will be plus 35x and then minus 2x. So I'll just replace. So that will be 7x squared plus 35x minus 2x minus 10. Factor out 7x from this first guy. You'll be left with x plus 5. After you divide, factor out minus 2 from this guy, you'll be left with x plus 5. So one of the factors is 7x minus 2, and the other factor is x plus 5. Let's see which of them is correct. That will be option C. Option 21 says that the root of the quadratic equations are minus 1 over 2 and 2 over 3. We should find the equation. You can try this out yourself. So I'll just use my equation, which is x squared minus sum multiplying the x plus products is equal to 0. So the sum of both of them will be minus 1 over 2 plus 2 over 3. The LCM here is 6. 6 and 2 is 3 times minus 1, that will be minus 3. 6 and 2 is 2 times 2, that will be plus 4. So I'll be left with 1 over 6. And then the product, that will be minus 1 over 2 multiplying 2 over 3. This will cancel this. I'll be left with minus 1 over 3. So I'll just substitute and say x squared minus 1 over 6x plus minus 1 over 3 is equal to 0. So I can multiply all through by 6 while I also do this place so that I don't have fractions. If I multiply this by 6, this will be 6x squared minus 1 over 6x times 6 will give me minus x. Then plus times minus is minus. Minus 1 over 3 times 6 will give me 2 is equal to 0. So this 6x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. That will be option B. Number 22 says that using completing the square method, solve correct two decimal places the equation 3y squared minus 5y plus 2 is equal to 0. As always, I expect that you are trying this by yourself. So the first thing I've noticed is that the coefficient of y squared is not 1. So we have to make it 1. How can we do that? We have to divide all through by 3. So that will be 3y squared minus 5y plus 2 is equal to 0. I will divide this by 3. 3y squared divided by 3 will give me y squared. Minus 5y divided by 3 will give me minus 5 over 3y. Then plus 2 divided by 3 will give me plus 2 over 3 is equal to 0 divided by 3 is also 0. Next step that we also said that will carry this whole number to the other side. That will be y squared minus 5 over 3y is equal to minus 2 over 3. They will now said we'll add the square of half of the coefficient of y to both sides of the equation. So if I say half of minus 5 over 3, which is the coefficient, then squared, so just say to both sides, you agree with me that this will be equal to minus 5 over 6 all squared, right? So that will be y squared minus 5 over 3y plus minus 5 over 6 all squared is equal to minus 2 over 3 plus minus 5 over 6 all squared. Then like we said, we take the squares. So this y and this minus 5 over 6 and put inside the brackets. So that will be y minus 5 over 6 all squared is equal to minus 2 over 3. Minus 5 squared is 25. And then 6 squared is 36. So this is over 36. So this will be y minus 5 over 6 all squared is equal to, the LCM here is 36. 36 and 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is minus 24. So this plus 36 divided by 36 is 1 times 25 is 25. So this would be y minus 5 over 6 all squared is equal to minus 24 plus 25 is 1. So 1 over 36. So the next thing I'll do is I'll take the square roots of both sides, right? And that will be y minus 5 over 6 is equal to square root of 1 over 36. And this y minus 5 over 6 is equal to square root of 1 over 36 is plus or minus 1 over 6, because minus 1 times minus 1 will give you 1, and 1 times 1 will give you 1, and minus 6 times minus 6 also give you 36, and 6 times 6 also give you 36. So you have to consider that it is plus and minus. So how can I break it up? I'll say y will now be equal to 5 over 6 plus or minus 1 over 6. So it's like saying y is equal to 5 over 6 plus 1 over 6, or 5 over 6 minus 1 over 6. And if you do this by yourself, this is 1 or 4 over 6. 4 over 6 is the same thing as saying 2 over 3, right? So our y is equal to 1. Okay, so they said correct to 2 decimal places. That will be 1.00, or 2 over 3 is 0.66666. So we could just say 0.67 to 2 decimal places. So this should be our answer for this particular question. Let's see if we're correct. Great. Question 23 says that we should simplify p minus r squared minus r squared all over 2p squared minus 4pr. I think whenever I see questions like this, just know there is a difference of two square question. So from this top here, you can see this is a square, this is a square, and you see a minus. So we're dealing with difference of two squares. So how do we do that? I'll put the brackets. So that'll be p minus r, then minus r, close the brackets, multiplying p minus r plus r, just like we always do with difference of two squares, all over. From this bottom here, I can factor out some things that's common. 2 is common in both of them, and p is common in both of them. So if I factor out 2p squared divided by 2p will give me p, minus 4pr divided by 2p will give me 2r. So let's simplify this top. P minus r minus r, that will give me p minus 2r, and p minus r plus r, this will cancel this, so we're left with p, all over 2p, open brackets, p minus 2r. P will cancel p, p minus r will cancel p minus r, will be left with 1 over 2. I hope when you solved it, you got 1 over 2. Let's check if we are correct. That will be option A. Next question says that the roots of a quadratic equation are 4 over 3 and minus 3 over 4. We should find the equation. We've solved quite a number of these kind of questions, so we could use any method that we want. I will use my sum and product method. So that will be x squared minus sum of roots multiplying x, then plus product of roots is equal to 0. So for the sum, we have 4 over 3 plus minus 3 over 7. The LCM here is 21. So 21 in 3 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 3 times minus 3 will give you minus 9. So 28 minus 9 will give me 19. So 19 over 21. Then for the product, that will be 4 over 3 multiplying minus 3 over 7. 3 will cancel 3, so I'll be left with minus 4 over 7. So let's put everything together. Let me replace inside this particular equation. So replacing, that will be x squared minus open brackets 19 over 21 x, then plus open brackets minus 4 over 7 is equal to 0. You know, we cannot leave it like this. In fact, we have to first say plus times minus is minus, but then we can't leave it like this with a fraction. So I will multiply this by 21, because 21 can go in 21, 21 also can go in 7, so that we don't have any fraction. So that will be 21 times x squared is 21x squared, minus 19 over 21 times 21 will leave me with minus 19x, and then minus 4 over 7 times 21 will give me minus 4 times 3, which will be minus 12, is equal to, and 0 times 21 will give me 0. So this is our equation for the particular question. So that is option A. Question 25 says that we should find the values of y for which the expression y squared minus 9y plus 18 all over y squared plus 4y minus 21 is undefined. We've solved something like this before. I expect that you pause the video and try that yourself. So we said for an expression to be undefined, the denominator would just be 0. So we said 5 over 0, 3 over 0. So just set y squared plus 4y minus 21 to be equal to 0, and you're good. So if I join these two, that will give me minus 21y squared. I'm using factorization method here. Two values that if I multiply will give me minus 21y squared, and if I had to give me plus 4y squared, that should be plus 7y and then minus 3y. So I'll replace. That will be y squared plus 7y minus 3y minus 21 is equal to 0. What's common in this first two? Y is common. y squared divided by y will give me y, plus 7y divided by y will give me 7. Great. What's also common in these two? I could say 3. If I just say 3, you see that I will not have y plus 7, so I will say minus 3. Minus 3y divided by minus 3 will give me y. Minus 21 divided by minus 3 will give me plus 7 is equal to 0. So let's group. That will be y minus 3, y plus 7 is equal to 0. So just like we could say y minus 3 is equal to 0, or y plus 7 is equal to 0. So in this case, y is equal to 3, or y is equal to minus 7. So we could say therefore y is equal to 3 or minus 7. That will be option C. Great. Next question is that we should factorize 2x plus 3y all squared minus x minus 4y all squared. So this is a typical difference of two square equation. You can see this square, and you say minus between them. Minus is a difference. So just as we know that for things like this, we just come here and say 2x plus 3y minus, open brackets, what is here? X minus 4y. So close the bracket and open another bracket. That will be 2x plus 3y, but in this case, now be plus x minus 4y. So I'll just close the brackets. Let's expand the bracket. This will be 2x plus 3y minus x, minus times minus will be plus 4y, open brackets, 2x plus 3y plus x, plus times minus is minus 4y. So 2x minus x is x, 3y plus 4y is plus 7y. 2x plus x is 3x, 3y minus 4y is minus y. So this is basically the answer from this particular thing. Just factorize it, that's all. So from this you can see that our answer is option A. Question 27 says that the relation y is equal to x squared plus 2x plus k passes to the point 2, 0. Find the value of k. All we are told here is that we're giving the x value, which is 2, for a corresponding y value, which is 0. So all you just need to do here is just to plug in y as 0 and x as 2 and find the value of k. So our x is 2 and then our y is 0. So let's substitute. That will be 0 is equal to 2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus k. So 0 is equal to 4 plus 4 plus k. 0 is equal to 8 plus k. And we know our k will be equal to minus 8. That is option A. Next question says that we should use completing the square method to solve and correct decimal places. X minus 2 all over 4 is equal to x plus 2 all over 2x. Don't forget to always pause the video and try this out yourself. So we are given x minus 2 all over 4 is equal to x plus 2 all over 2x. So let's cross multiply. That will be 2x multiplying x minus 2 and is equal to 4 open brackets x plus 2. 2x times x will give me 2x squared. 2x times minus 2 will give me minus 4x is equal to 4 times x will give me 4x. 4 times plus 2 will give me plus 8. So let's take like terms. That will be 2x squared minus 4x minus 4x minus 8 is equal to 0. You have to be very careful about this carrying over and ensure you're carrying over the right sign. So that will be 2x squared minus 4x minus 4x will give me minus 8x. Then minus 8 is equal to 0. So the next thing is that we have to ensure that the coefficient of x squared is 1 because I'm using completing the square method. So I'll divide all through by whatever is holding the coefficient of x squared from being 1. That is 2. So if I divide this by 2, that will give me x squared minus 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 4x minus 8 divided by 2 is 4 is equal to 0. Next thing is that we'll carry over the whole number part to the other side. That will be x squared minus 4x is equal to 4. Then we'll add half of minus 4, the square of it, to both sides. So that will be x squared minus 4x plus minus 2 all squared is equal to 4 plus minus 2 all squared. So I'll take the square, then the square, that will be x minus 2 all squared is equal to 4 plus minus 2 squared is 4. So this is x minus 2 all squared is equal to 8. So for me to solve this, I have to take the square roots of both sides. And that will be x minus 2 is equal to square root of 8. So this is like saying x minus 2 is equal to plus or minus, what's the square root of 8? Because we're doing to 2 decimal places, that is 2.83. So this is x is equal to 2 plus 2.83 or 2 minus 2.83. So this is like saying x is equal to 4.83 or minus 0.83. Let's see if we are correct. Great, so 4.83 or minus 0.83 is 2 decimal places. Question 29 says that we should factorize completely 6ax minus 12by minus 9ay plus 8bx. So if I group together all the x's first, that will give me 6ax plus 8bx minus 12by. I'm grouping the y's now, then minus 9ay. What is common in these two? I could say 2 is common and x is common. So 6ax divided by 2x, that will give me 3a plus 8bx divided by 2x, that will give me 4b minus, because I want a plus here, so I have to factor out minus from these guys. What is common in both of them? 3 is common and then y is common. 12by divided by minus 3by, that will give me 4b minus 9ay divided by minus 3by, that will give me plus 3a. So 4b plus 3 is since I'm saying 3a plus 4b, right? Because addition is commutative. So let's group now. That will be 2x minus 3y, close the brackets, and 3a plus 4b. So this should be our answer. So that should be option B. Question 30 says that we should find the equation whose roots are 3 over 4 and minus 4. I want you to try this one by yourself. I'm not going to solve this one. We've solved a lot of questions about this. So if you do that successfully, your answer should be 4x squared plus 13x minus 12 is equal to 0, which is option C. Question 31 says adding 42 to a given positive number gives the same results as squaring the number. We should find the number. This is a word problem. I want you to pause the video and try this out yourself before you watch my solution. So we're adding 42 to a given positive number. Let's say the positive number, remember the number is positive. Let's say the positive number is x. So we're adding 42 to a given positive number. So that will be x plus 42. And gives the same results as squaring that number. So it's equal to x squared. So this is basically just saying that we should find x. So if I rearrange it, that will be x squared minus x minus 42 is equal to 0. So let's join. That would be minus 42x squared. So two numbers that if I multiply would give me minus 42x squared, and if I add it will give me minus x. So that might be very hard to find. So we could do our long division and say 42. 2 in 42 is 21, 3 in 21 is 7, and 7 in 7 is 1. So you can see that if I group these first two guys, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 7 will give me 42. So you can see that this is something I should look out. So this is like saying from this I can deduce that my answers from this is minus 7x and then plus 6x. We've talked about why one will be minus and one will be plus previously. So let's replace. That would be x squared minus 7x plus 6x minus 42 is equal to 0. So let's factor out. In this first two, what is common? X is common. X squared divided by x will give you x, minus 7x divided by x will give you minus 7. Close the brackets. In this one, what is common? Plus 6 is common. 6x divided by 6 will give you x, minus 42 divided by 6 will give you minus 7 is equal to 0. So let's group. That will be x plus 6, x minus 7 is equal to 0. So x plus 6 is equal to 0, or x minus 7 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 6 or what? Or 7. So this is the answer for this question. But the question says that x is a what? Positive number. So can x be minus 6? No, because x is a positive number. So therefore we can say since x is positive, x is equal to 7. So this is our final answer, and that will be option C. Next one says that adjust the graphs of y is equal to x squared minus x minus 2 and y is equal to 2x minus 1 on the same axis which of the following equations is she trying to solve? So for this, remember we're doing simultaneous equation that we did the graphs, that we had two graphs and we're trying to plot them on the same graph sheets. We're just saying, since they are on the same axis, that means this y is also equal to this y. And then by the time we simplify this equation, we know the exact equation that we're trying to solve. So from here, we could say, you can call this y1 and this one y2. So we could just say y1 is equal to y2. And that is x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to 2x minus 1. So let's rearrange. That will be x squared minus x minus 2x minus 2 plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is x squared minus x minus 2x will give you minus 3x. Minus 2 plus 1 will give you minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is actually the equation that we are trying to solve. That is option B. Question 33 says that if x minus a is a factor of bx minus ax plus x squared minus ab, we should find the other factor. I'm assuming that you've tried to solve this by yourself. Our equation was x squared minus sum multiplying x plus product of the roots is equal to 0. So if you look at all these ones, the one that is the whole number part is just the product of the roots, that is minus ab. So the first factor is x minus a. We can find the first root from this. So the first root will just be x minus a is equal to 0, and that is x is equal to a. So our first root is a. We know that the product by comparison will be minus ab, and if I say a times our second root is equal to minus ab, if I divide both sides by a, you will see that our second root will just be minus b. And that second root is like saying x is equal to minus b. But it said we should find the other factor. So I have to put it in terms of this. So I'll just carry the minus b to the other side. That will be x plus b is equal to 0. So our second factor is just x plus b. And that is option A. Question 34 says that we should find the truth set of the equation x squared is equal to 3 open bracket 2x plus 9. I want to try this one by yourself. Use any method that you know. But if you see the option, you can see the option saying your option will be something like this. Just say x such that x is equal to 3, comma x is equal to 9. So just find those two values. Maybe it's 3 and minus 9. Just say x such that x is equal to 3, comma x is equal to minus 9. And if you solve that correctly, your answer should be option D. Same thing too for question 35. It says that we should solve x minus 2 in brackets, x minus 3 in brackets is equal to 12. We've solved many things like that. Use any method that you know. If I use all the three methods that we know and try to solve it, and ensure that you have the same answer for each of the methods. If you do that correctly, your answer should be x is equal to 6 or minus 1. So with this, we've come to the end of the WAEC questions on quadratic equations. We solved an extensive number of questions that if you finish solving this, you should not have any problem at all either in your school exam, in WAEC or in NECO. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like the video. That way I'll be able to know that, oh, this video is actually making impact to somebody out there. If you'd like to contact me, maybe you want personal tutoring or anything, look at the channel description. You see a link to a WhatsApp. Chat me up on it. I'll respond to you. And if you'd like to donate to what we're doing, there's a donation link too at the channel description. I'll see you in the next video.